We're going to rematch it, and this time we've got a baby. We've just been like grueling away. It's gotten really steep, so we've just been switchbacking all the way up.
No mosquitoes at least, but just bugs everywhere. Woo.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Woohoo, the lake.
Yay! Good morning, guys. So we're here at the Buttle Lake campground in Strathcona Provincial Park on Vancouver Island, which is beautiful, by the way. But we're heading out this morning because
we're insane.
Dun dun dun! It's time to rematch our infamous, I don't even know the difference between the two, but our crazy hike that we did here 2 years ago when we visited Strathcona Provincial Park, the Crest Mountain Trail. If you missed that video, I'll link it here, but it was maybe the best / worst hike we've ever been on. It's like the best because it has some really cool stuff to it, but the worst because it's the longest hike and the most elevation gain that we've done in a hike, I'm pretty sure, ever. So we're going to rematch it, and this time we've got a baby.
Yeah, and honestly, I am nervous. It was extremely hard for us last time, and Alysha wants to do it again as a rematch. I will now be carrying Chloe because we had seen a couple carrying a baby, and that's kind of what made us want to do it with Chloe, but it is hard, so wish us luck coming up here.
Honestly, we booked this campground 2 months ago, and ever since then we've been going back and forth on whether or not we should try the Crest Mountain Trail again, because again, it is kind of crazy. So we'll see how we do this time. We're on our way to the trailhead. Wish us luck. Alright, we're at the trailhead. It's a beautiful morning. There's nobody else here, which is like a little more scary because that means you're the first person on the trail in the morning, so you're the one like potentially scaring away any animals or anything like that. Luckily, we did bring our bear spray in case of emergency. Like, hopefully we won't have to use it, obviously. I think it's fairly unlikely that we're going to encounter a bear, and even if we do, chances are we're not going to need bear spray. We can just kind of scare it away and it'll be on its way, but just in case, we do have bear spray, especially for having Chloe with us. We just don't want to take any chances, obviously, so bear spray it is. My hiking shoes are still so dusty and dirty from our last big hike, which would have been our big hike in Bryce Canyon when we went down into the canyon and everything, and it was all sandy. So this will be a completely different hike experience from that one. No sand, no hoodoos, big hill. All right, here we go. We're going 5 kilometers each way, and what'd I say, 1,100 meters elevation gain in total? Is this the trail? Okay, let's go find the actual trail. So after this little bit of like meandering through the woods at the very beginning, it starts going up the mountain and it doesn't stop. You go like a really steep incline for quite a long time, basically the entire hike. And the problem is that a lot of this hike is just in the woods. You don't get any views or any like cool vistas that you get to look out on the way. It's just hiking up a hill in the forest, which means you get a lot of shade, which is good, but if you don't make it all the way to the top, you're not getting any views.
So we started this at about 8:30 in the morning,
Oh, he took off. Spiders are smart. What I was gonna say is there's all these spider webs because no one's done it yet today, I don't think. So I've just been plowing through spider webs with spiders on them. This one's a fully formed web, not just a little line. And the spiders are on sometimes, so I gotta like hack through the rainforest here to get to where we're headed. Oh, it's gonna be a day. I gotta say that Chloe's probably close to 25 pounds. Not quite maybe, but around 25. Backpack 7, 2 liters of water, our food, keys, cameras, extra stuff in there. This is gonna be a grind, but it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, we were just saying, this hike, we've said it a million times already, it's a gruel of a hike, but you get really nice views, but if you only got the views at the top, I don't think we'd be doing this again. The real treat at the top is going to be the Alpine Lake, which is beautiful. On our last trip 2 years ago, we also had bought, it's like a flora and fauna book of Vancouver Island, and we were reading through it, and one of the like fungus, I think it is, it's a fungus, right?
I don't remember, maybe it was.
I think it is. One of them was the candy stick, and we were reading about it in the book, and it said it was one of the author's like favorite things to find because it was pretty rare and you only find it more in like alpine areas. And I remember specifically he said it's a treat to find because, you know, candy stick and it's rare. And on our hike last time we were here, we actually found our first candy stick ever, and we just found one again. So if you're out hunting for a candy stick, come on over to the Crest Mountain Trail. I said earlier about how there's nothing really interesting that happens on the hike until you get up past the trees and you're able to look out of the mountains, but honestly, the forest is pretty beautiful too. I don't want to like say that it just sucks until you get to the view, but like there's so much moss, these trees can be huge. There's a river that we're walking along right now and we're about to cross a bridge over top of it. Like honestly, this is a pretty decent hike. It just like goes through the forest forever. But also I want to say the forest changes a lot too on this hike. At the very bottom you're right at lake level and it's really rainforesty, really humid, like we are now, like lots of moss, lots of ferns, stuff like that. But as we get higher it turns into like less ferns and moss and more dirt and trees, and then near the very top it turns alpine forest, which is absolutely beautiful. Alright, we're like an hour in and Chloe just fell asleep in the backpack for her first nap, which we were semi-worried about if she would be able to get a good nap in, but she looks really asleep right now, so it should be pretty good. We've just been like grueling away. It's gotten really steep, so we've just been switchbacking all the way up. It's gotten to be a bit less of like roots and rocks that we're climbing over and more of like a path that we're just switchbacking, but it does get dang steep sometimes. I think we're like an hour and a half in now. Whew. Pretty sure it's gonna take us like 4 hours to get to the top or something, so still quite a ways to go. But we can do it. Man, the mosquitoes have been getting really thick up here. Oh, it's so annoying. Like, you want to stop and take a bit of a break and have a snack and maybe even get Chloe off of Luke's back for a little break, but man, when you stop walking, they just swarm you and it's horrible. Well, I don't want to jinx us, but The trees look like they're thinning out a little bit up there, and we're starting to get a little sneak peek of the view there, so I think we might be close.
Let's go.
This last little bit has been pretty tough, honestly. It's the steepest part of the climb so far, and so many bugs. You can probably see them all flying around me right now. It's insane. But I have to say, I remember specifically this part of the trail last time, and I felt like dying. Like, I thought there was no way I could take any more steps up. Like, we're never gonna make it. And this time, like, it's hard, but I definitely feel much more conditioned for it, and like, it's definitely doable, and I don't feel like I'm gonna die yet. Poor Luke having to carry almost 30 pounds or something on his back. Not as easy as it is for me, I'm sure, but he's also toughing through it, and we're getting up there. Wow, Chloe! Oh, I almost tripped.
We started all the way down there.
Oh. Wow, like you can't even see where we would have started. It's like way down there. Ooh la la! Well, this looks like, I mean, there's still bugs, but they're not mosquitoes, which is great. But it looks like a great place to stop and have our lunch.
Yeah, this is our first like official break slash definitely first sit down of the whole hike. So it's been hard, but last time we did it without Chloe, I mean, man, we were just big babies back then. Even we were younger.
It's true.
And we didn't have a kid. And we were taking like rest breaks. I'm like, oh man, maybe we should turn back soon. I think this time going into it, I just like accepted it was gonna be like torture. And we just kept our head down and hiked, and here we are.
Yeah, I remember I was like on the verge of crying near the top last time. I was so tired, it just killed me, but let's get Chloe out. She needs a rest.
I don't know if the camera catches this all, but look how many flies are just over by them, and they're by me too. No mosquitoes at least, but just bugs everywhere. Woo.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
All right, we're near the top, I think, here. Chloe's a little cranky since we had to put her back in the backpack. She's been in it a lot. She didn't want to go back in, but we're trying to truck on. I was carrying her after the break, but I have like 2 huge knots on each side of my quads, and it is stiffing up. I can barely extend my legs, so Alysha's gonna carry Chloe and just crest the top of the hill here for me. I really wanted to try and make it the whole way. That was kind of my goal, but there's a difference between like fatigue and like muscle knots. If I keep pushing with the weight, I might just not make it back down the hill or worse. So gonna carry the lighter water pack for a bit here, and Alysha's gonna truck on. Hopefully we're almost there though. Oh, look at this. We found snow in the shade.
Whoa.
I was wondering when we would. We are high enough altitude on the other mountains. Wow. Oh, I think we're so close. We're walking a river, snow. You can see the trees don't get much higher here, so it shouldn't keep mountaining up. I think we just follow this little bit of river and we're at the lake.
Oh boy.
Oh, let's do it. Woohoo, the lake!
Yay!
Look at this. Just the most beautiful alpine lake up here. Crystal clear. All like snow. I don't want to say glacial water, but it looks like it.
Look how clear this is though. Just amazing up here. Wow.
cold. Splash, splash.
So we're up here, we had our fun. Me and Alysha both did a full dunk head down in there. I don't know if you can see it here, but there's actually snow right around the lake over on that side. So a little colder than it was last time we were here. It's just been such a cold year that I guess it hasn't warmed up here as much as it has everywhere else yet. But had our splashing, Chloe had her playing. We were all dressed up, ready to roll here. I don't know if the camera's doing it justice at all, but like 50 flies at least swarming around. And if they land on you too long, they do bite. At least these are little ones. Some of the big ones we left behind, but these little guys are just like pests while you're eating. They're landing on Chloe. Chloe's forehead's bleeding a little bit. I'm wondering if a fly bit her there. Just a teeny little chunk out of her, but we forgot to bring bug spray. I think we mentioned that. Oh, they land on your camera there even. But with the bug spray, maybe we could have used that. So unfortunately, that'll be a thing for next time to pack, but we're gonna get Chloe fed a bit more, keep her happy, and then we're heading the way back down. I think we figured it took us about a little over 3.5 hours or so to get up here. So honestly, like pretty comparable to the last time coming. We did it pretty consistent, just kept pushing on at a slow, steady pace. Got here, mostly trying to escape the bugs on the way. And now we'll see how it goes down. I remember last time we were so tired getting up here, and then the way down, because like, you're talking like 45-degree average incline, I would say. Sometimes it's even worse. Sometimes it flattens out a little bit, but it's just like straight up, like Stairmaster edition. And then down, now your knees just hammer, because we're gonna be going down for at least 2 hours on that angle, and then with the weight on your back now too with Chloe. We'll see how our knees do.
Well, I'd say we're at least 3/4 of the way down the trail here. I don't know, we've been waiting to hear the river that we crossed when we went over like that log, but we still don't hear a river, but we do see the road way down there, so we've got to be getting close. Holy moly, this hike, like it's so steep going down. It kills your knees. It's killing my toes being in my shoes, like pushing down like that. Yeah. It's killing my ankles because I'm like rubbing on my shoes, not too great.
It's a quad buster for sure.
Yeah, but we're almost there. Oh my God, we made it.
More importantly, Luke made it with a baby strapped to his back.
This is the hardest physical thing I think I've ever done in my life, like a landslide. Oh my goodness. Oh. Chloe is never getting a backpack ride again after this. Well, that's not true. For the next couple days though, oh my goodness. I am dead. I'm like max dead.
All right, so we're slowly getting our lives together here. We took our showers. I'm making dinner over here. I'm making a shishishka, which is funny because it's what we made 2 years ago when we did the Crest Mountain hike. We made this that night as well, so it's kind of like another throwback. I didn't want to get the RV any more humid and hot than it already is, so I decided to try and cook it outside, and it's working pretty well. If you didn't know, a shishishka is basically like a canned tomato stew that you make. It's supposed to be like spicy and have peppers and onions and all that good stuff in it. And then I'll show later, but you crack eggs in there and poach them, and it's so good, so healthy, so like hearty.
Yeah, it's delicious, nutritious, and as myself, a person that doesn't really like tomatoes on anything, I like ketchup and that kind of stuff obviously, but this is actually really good. The tomatoes acidity cooks down, and if you don't think you like tomatoes, maybe try this because it actually is really good.
It's supposed to be a spicy dish, or at least that's how we make it, and I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to be, but we're gonna leave the spice out so that Chloe can try some. I might add like chili oil or something and make it spicy myself, but yeah, that's what we're doing here. We're gonna let that stew away and then add our eggs in, and it'll almost be done.
Also, honorable mention, we had a really tough day, but we expected it, we got through it, but shout out to Chloe / future Chloe when she watches this. She did so well. She took both of her 2 naps of the day in the backpack. She only fussed when we put her back in the backpack after our lunch break, and she fussed after the lake. Other than that, besides putting her in the backpack again because she wanted to keep playing, she did so good and napped as well in that backpack. Investing in a backpack with high quality like the Osprey one we have is so worth it, just because I don't know if she would have napped otherwise if she wasn't as comfortable, and like If she didn't nap, that would have been game over for us up there. So thank you, Chloe, you're an angel.
Oh no, it broke.
Oh, good.
Oh no. Well, you get the idea.
Something else pretty amazing out here is Chloe has started walking by herself randomly every now and then. She's always been pretty good at it. Like, we went for a walk the other day and Alysha just held her hand. We walked like really far down the campground and back to get water. But out here, she just suddenly's been standing up and taking off. We had her in her playpen and she was kind of like running around without shoes on the mat, but she wanted to walk off the mat, so she's just being a kid, I guess. But can you believe it? She's walking. Strathcona Park. You started walking, Chloe.
Whoa, good walking. Oh.
Oh, up, up.
Good walking.
Wow.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Are you walking? Come here. Oh. Come here. Hey, Minnie.
Oh, boom. Boom.
Ouch.
Good walking, Chloe.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye.
I know she doesn't have shoes on. Probably not the best, but she's having a blast, so... Alright, the eggs have set up nicely. I topped it with some feta cheese. Looks delicious. We're gonna eat it on some toast. You can eat it with like anything you want, potatoes, rice. We're doing toast because it's easiest here, but yeah, let's dish it on up. I think the eggs are probably a bit, oh no, they're like a tiny bit over from what I wanted, but they're still really, what's the word?
Juicy.
No, not juicy, they're like fudgy.
Fudgy, oh.
Fudgy eggs.
Much better than juicy.
Mm-hmm. It's hot.
Ouch.
Mm. Yeah, so good. I put a bunch of paprika in there, which is really shining through. Lots of garlic, because who doesn't love garlic? And yeah, all it needs is some spice on top, but pretty good.
Anyways, friends, thank you for getting this far in the video. If you made it this far through our complaining and struggles on the mountain.
Yeah, true.
It was a big day, but it was good. We're gonna wrap up here with some dinner, and then we're heading out tomorrow already and off to our next BC Provincial Park here on Vancouver Island. It's been some good RVing out here so far, I'd say, though.
I'd say overall our hike was a success. I mean, going down was super painful. Going up was tiring and stuff, but yeah, like Luke and Alysha, if you're watching this in the future, don't go again.
Yeah, third time's not a charm.
No.
Anyway, enough complaining. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video then, everyone. Take care.
See you guys. Bye.